I'm Kerry Fink with Helping Seniors Updates, and welcome. Today is Wednesday. It's June the 3rd, and I have the privilege of having our president and founder, Joe Steckler, with us today. Hi, Joe. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, Carrie. I have to tell you, getting old is not fun, and I just wish that I could somehow convince people as they age to not let their physical fitness part stop or not keep it up.
Right.
That and weight gain is so hard because as we get older, we tend to lose muscle tone, and yeah, we'll lose some, but we can keep a lot of it if we just put our mind to it. And I've written about that for years in the Florida Today newspaper, the other community newspapers like Hometown News, and I know the value of having body strength. And it's sad to say I've let myself go, and now I've got to do something about getting it back, and that's not easy. It's a lot easier to maintain it. So, but I'm convinced that I'm going to do this, and I'm faced with a couple of knee operations, and that's, this is all part of, a lot of it is aging, and from playing sports and doing all this stuff, you wreck yourself when you're young and you pay for it when you're old.
Oh my goodness. And sort of in keeping with that, we were talking just actually before we started the update, was that you've got actually a two-part series coming out in the Hometown News, where you write the articles a couple of times a month, and it's about elements of care, which is something you've really talked about ever since I first met you, when we were first getting everything going with helping seniors anyway. And you were talking about how important it is to make plans so that you know how to get the right help at the right stage.
Yeah, I sort of digressed from the what was normally put out about caregiving situations, and instead of just calling it one thing, I like to call it elements of care, because there's so many different elements that we can bring into whether we're in the home care situation or facility. And so many people just don't understand the difference between the two. So what I've tried to do is a two-part series, and the first part will hopefully be coming out this Friday, 2 days after we're talking here on the update. But it'll be about in-home care, and but I there's just no way that I can cover everything. But what I can do in my writing is I hopefully whet somebody's appetite, so they will call Kim at the office, and if she can't answer the question, she can give it to me. I'll call her people. I don't mind. I figure that I have a purpose in life, and one of those purposes is to help people, and so that's what I'm trying to do. So this week is in-home care. Next week or the week following will be what I call facility care, and that'll deal with nursing homes, assisted living facilities, and what we call the unlicensed facilities. There are so many ways people can be cared for that the general public does not know about it, because it's really not written about. So on these updates, hopefully we can help get people to understand how they can build a care plan that will let them care for their loved ones in a good way, and let them be satisfied.
And that's so important, because I know I've made the comment before, as we've worked on the TV shows or radio shows, that for those of us in the average public, where we're not really necessarily aware of all this, we still sort of keep in our mind, we don't understand the differentiation about it's either, we talk about, I guess it may not sound pretty, but so many folks would just say, oh, it's the old folks home. And yet there's really no such thing as that, because there's so many levels. You can get help that you need at home on almost any range of levels. And even when you talk about different places, there's everything from independent living to assisted living to skilled nursing facilities to memory care facilities. There's so many things. And yet most of us don't really take the time to learn and then we get caught in some sort of a crisis, and we're trying to figure out stuff, when there's a time pressure and we really don't have good information to try to make intelligent decisions.
Kerry, I remember a situation many years ago that I had a family that when I was running the Alzheimer's program, I had a family that had a father that he was in a facility, or he was being cared for at home. And the family just really wasn't able to handle it. And so I asked them to come in to our office and have a meeting. Well, I got into a meeting with these five. There was a sister and four brothers. Three of them were doctors.
Wow.
Doctors. And here they are thinking they can't care for their father in a good nursing home. He had his Social Security. He had a little other money. He needed a little bit, maybe $400 or $500 added to it. And I looked at him and I said, I don't understand. Why can't the five of you come together and figure out how much your father needs to supplement what he needs to stay in that or go to a nursing home, and then pool your money? I said, here you all are fighting over this, and when all it would take is maybe $50 from each of you. I said, there's a way to solve a problem if you're willing to open your eyes and your heart and say, yes, I can do this. And that's what's so important. And that's what, in these updates that we give out, we can talk about the subjects that, like you said, just generally are not written about. And these things will come to mind. And that's why a lot of them have come to mind during this pandemic, because, we, like a lot of other organizations, really didn't have the answers to some of the problems that were coming and developing. But by working at this thing, thinking about it, looking at the resources that were available, we're able in many times to help the family develop a care plan. And like you said, living a life is a plan. And if you don't plan how you're trying to do something, you are in a catch-22 situation that you just don't know how to handle.
And that's why I think so much of the information, being a media guy by background, I probably bias towards it, but particularly in this day and age of where they still want us to be very careful during all these COVID-19 precautions, even though we're in phase 1 reopening, it's one of the things that I think we've really tried to do in Helping Seniors is there's a great library of the TV programs, the radio programs. We've archived all of the articles, the Helping Seniors newsletters, and there's a wealth of information. And the nice part about it is if you go to the Helping Seniors website, helpingseniors.org, you can use the search feature and type in pretty much any topic, and there'll come a whole list of things that are valuable that may be of benefit as you're talking or looking at a particular situation. In fact, we were talking also that here we are, we're essentially at the start of June. It's hard to imagine, quite frankly, that we're already in June in 2020. It's been an unusual year, but the Senior Scene magazine is out for June 2020. And of course, in the center section of that is the Helping Seniors newsletter. We call it the Yellow Pages. It's got your column, but it's also got many good articles that have been contributed by a lot of experts in our area, in addition to having the Helping Seniors directory, services directory of good businesses that are good resources during this time. So you can find that, get your copy of Senior Scene magazine. You can get it also on the Helping Seniors website. We have it there. And of course, on our Facebook page, there's all kinds of ways to get a hold of that information, but it goes back to the same thing, trying to get information in people's hands that will help them along the way. And perhaps, as we've talked about with some of the experts like Bill Johnson, the elder law attorney, another good example would be Barb McIntyre of Reverse Mortgages. There's tips and things in there that could mean tens of thousands of dollars one way or another by making the correct decision. So it's not only a knowledge decision, but it could be a financial decision as well by just having the right information ahead of time.
Yeah. How many? You got a minute we can talk about something else?
Absolutely.
Okay. One of our board members is coming back as a sponsor. She's the president, or she's the, I guess, like the director of a new home health care service, Nancy Deerdorf.
Right.
And Nancy is a registered nurse, and she has coped with her father having Alzheimer's, her sister having problems, and Nancy is very, very willing to tell her story. And at times it's heartbreaking, but at times it also tells you the story of determination, and that no matter what situation is thrust on me, I can do something about it.
Right.
And that's what comes out in these little updates. We try to help people. And just to pick up real quick on something you said about this services directory, we're sort of working with John Frederickson, the editor of the and publisher of Senior Scene magazine, and it looks like we're going to combine our directory. And if it works out, I think what we'll have is a printed directory that will be in Senior Scene, and then there will be we'll combine to put our organizations together on the internet, so that the same directory in there will be on the internet, and we'll have people have a better idea of, like they have advertisers in Senior Scene magazine, but people going through that magazine, they don't understand what some of these advertisers do. But by putting them in a category such as handyman or elder care or plumbing services, things like that, people get a better handle on what is available to help them. And this is strictly designed not just to help the seniors, but people that have seniors that they're caring for that might need these services, and they'll have better access to them. It's something I've dreamed about a long time. I started it with a news organization out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, that it was back in 1995. And, we had the idea then that we could go onto the internet and put these little organizations in place all over the U.S. And it's still not just a dream. It's something that can be done. These updates that you and I are doing today, there are going to be people in Minneapolis, Minnesota. There might be, all it takes is a radio show and a guy that's got or a man or a woman's got a little understanding about what the community needs, and they start something. They can call us. We can always help people. I've offered what we've done here in Brevard County to people all over the country, and programs like ours have been started by the Catholic nuns in Indiana and 3 counties, a whole 8 counties in New York, Davenport, Iowa. So, it's something that people need to know, that it can be done, can be put in place, and it can be used to help people help themselves. And with the future, with the cost of everything, we have got to figure out ways to help people. And I'd be very happy to discuss situations like that on these little Helping Senior updates as we move along.
We're gonna continue this conversation for sure, and I want to remind folks that that's one of the real benefits of Helping Seniors since the organization was founded in 2011 via the Senior Information Helpline, because I guess there maybe had been one at one time, but it had gone out of service or something, and so that was one of the reasons why early on you founded the Helping Seniors Information Line. And since then, we've helped more than 3,000 families free of charge. And Kim Bernard, who's our education specialist, is there on post helping people all through this COVID crisis. 321-473-7770, 321-473-7770. As we talked about the other week, interesting situations come up. She had a call, as we talked about before, with a 94-year-old who was needing to find a caregiver because her caregiver, who was 67, was having to go into the hospital. And so between calls like that from people just now moving into the area who don't really know who to call or where to begin, or oftentimes it's the adult children who are trying to help mom and dad who may be living here and they're living someplace else and just don't know who to trust. That's why this organization, Helping Seniors, is really so important. And I guess I want to wrap up today, Joe, like we talked a little bit before on the radio show about the Helping Seniors car raffle is a great way for people to get involved and support our work. I know we're working to get a new drawing date. If you want to comment real quickly on that, but the ticket sales are open, and you can get your tickets at helpingseniors.carraffle.com. It's a great way to facilitate the work of helping seniors and kind of either pay it forward, pay it back, just help us. Or you can call Kim at 321-473-7770 to get your tickets. And so, Joe, with that, do you want to add a final comment or some thoughts about the car raffle as we wrap up today's update?
Okay, just quickly, the car raffle is a major fundraiser. Mm-hmm. And the car raffle is our way of earning the money that we need to pay the people that like Kim and our television shows and our radio shows. They cost a little bit, but we're very cost effective, and our budget is less than $200,000. That's for everything: people, the services, the newsletter, the publications, everything. I have challenged anybody to do that any more cost effectively than we do, but we appreciate every day a sale of a ticket. Mm-hmm. And what's been very gratifying to me, Kerry, is that we have over 1,000 people on our, well over 1,000 people on our list of people that have supported us in the past through different things. And a lot of those people have already bought tickets, but I know a lot of them are waiting to see what the date is going to be. But I give you my word that the raffle will be held.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll do another update with you next week, and I'll see if I can find out and get a better idea of a date between now and then, and give you a better idea. So those of you that have been holding back a little bit can start buying those $100 bundle tickets and help us build our coffers back up so we can keep this program going. We're like any other organization. We're a business. We're a nonprofit business, and we're a small business, very small, and we have to earn money. And I don't take anything for what I do, and it's important that the people that want to help us, and I really, sometimes it causes me to really think when I see people from all over the United States buying tickets. And I do that. I was surprised when I got a call from somebody that bought a ticket from we're not in the local area, mm-hmm. and they did it because they wanted to help us. So, having said that, you wind it up.
All right. Well, thank you, Joe. And we'll look forward to good Helping Seniors updates along the way here. We are doing these every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We archive all of these just as well. So if you missed one, we had one actually with Robin Femister, who is the president of the Florida State Guardianship Association, on Monday. And she was talking about some of the things that she had to work through during this COVID-19 to make sure all the people that they as guardians are responsible for. So it's just interesting to always kind of tune in and see how many folks are committed to really doing a good job for seniors in our county. So we will be back on Friday and look forward to continuing all this conversation. And thanks, Joe. And thank you, viewer, for tuning in today. I'm Kerry Fink on behalf of Joe and Kim and the entire Helping Seniors team. We hope you have a good rest of the week.
Thank you, Kerry.